Hello everyone and welcome back to the Man United agenda, and it is preview time and it is Manchester United versus Tottenham. Welcome. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Man United agenda. I am Solo. I'm joined as always with Mr. B. How you doing, sir? On Monday, how are we doing?
Hi guys.
I hope you guys got the stomach and the strength here, because we've got two Spurs fans in the building. just hold it, yeah.
And hold on. They might be Spurs fans, but they are gentlemen, and I really do respect both of them. So I'm quite happy about that.
That's not what he said at the 3 o'clock phone call, but yeah, I'm joking. As always, guys, we haven't seen this face for a long time on the channel. Al Fitness, welcome back, sir. How are you doing?
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Good, nice, good. Ready to chat football.
Yeah,
as always.
Good to have you back on.
Nice to see you.
To have you back on.
Nice.
Don P, you were recently on the channel, and I believe you gave Mr. B hell. I've wanted you to give him hell, but apparently you're very polite and nice with Mr. B on the Friday night takeaway. How are you doing?
Yeah, thank you very much, Solo and the United Agenda, for inviting me. Doing well. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Excellent. So we are also waiting for tomorrow as well. We are waiting. It's going to be one of those games. Hopefully it's better than the Newcastle game. We should have 3 penalties, but hopefully it's not going to be like Harry Kane diving like he did the other day. Disgusting dive. But guys, listen, if you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share and subscribe, and we are going to read out our sponsorship. So Omundi, would you mind? Sorry.
So as you know, we're now sponsored by GMS, that's Global Mapping Surveys. You might ask, what are they all about? Well, what they do is they assist architects, property developers and construction companies all over the country. They offer a wide range of services such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning and monitoring. The link is in the description, guys, so make sure you check out the website for contact details.
Brilliant, thank you. And guys, as I said, thank you to GMS Limited as well. We better read it out because he'll be on my case. But let's kickstart into the previous show now, as always, guys. And we're only here to talk football and football only. And it is a Man United versus Spurs. But guys, let's go. We're going to talk about team news first. But Amanda, did you want to ask the question before we go into team news, or about what
once we get into it, there's a few questions I want to ask Spurs fans because they're more qualified than me. I just want a few tips what to expect.
Brilliant, thank you. So guys, with kickstart, you guys are the guests, so we always go with the guests first. So big game tomorrow, and we're looking at the team news. So guys, what sort of obviously I think Richarlison is out, but looking at around the team, is there any changes to the one minus Richarlison that will start probably against United tomorrow? Let's go Don P first.
Yeah, well, I think Conte was playing a bit of mind. I think he was playing mind games in the press conference. So basically, all season, most of the Tottenham fans have been crying out for us to play 3-5-2, which is basically playing 3 in the middle. So Basuma alongside Bentancur and Holberg. But Conte is very stubborn, and his preferred formation is 3-4-3. So he feels that that's probably best for the types of players that we've got in our teams, i.e. if we've got Richarlison or Kulusevski. But because Richarlison and Kulusevski are both injured, you would have thought that we would have played the 3 in the midfield. But in the press conference yesterday, he said, he didn't just call Moura. He said that he's got Moura coming back from injury. And then he said that we've got Bryan Gill. And then he also said that Perisic could potentially play up front as well. And he didn't mention anything about 3-5-2. So I don't know if it's something to kind of put Ten Hag off, but that's what Conte was saying.
Ash?
Yeah, so I'm with Don P on that one. So obviously we want the 5-man midfield. The 5-man midfield with them 3 in the middle. Like the wings, I mean, every Tottenham fan would have an argument about who's going on the wings, but in that centre there, we all know we would want Ben. I don't know, Bentancur and Højbjerg. Obviously, they would always play. Basuma or Skip for me, either one of them to be. Basuma's more Premier League level. But I love Skip, and I don't know about Dompey. I don't know what you've seen of Skip or what you feel of Skip. But for me, Skip is quality. But he is coming back from injury, and I feel that his time will come in the years to come because I think the guy is a top draw player. So we'd go with Basuma, and the way that sits would be Højbjerg just sitting, Basuma and Bentancur just to kind of when we're going forward to run free, but they're defensive minded as well. So they'll sit back in there, gives a lot of protection to the back three. I just think that it's a no-brainer, but Conte knows more than us and he sees them every day. So we've got to have trust in what he's going to do, but it's clear to see every time we go 3-5-2, we're a much better team.
Yeah.
Okay. Omundi, I've got a couple of things from the Man United team news, but is there anything you guys got to add to that one about the Spurs and sort of what they've got to say?
Well, look, they're more qualified. Like I say, it's interesting to hear that about the reasons why they prefer 3-5-2. Is that for better balance? They feel they play better in that regard. I'm not sure. I wanted to ask a lot of questions about that because obviously we faced sides like Arsenal this season, and they play a free-flowing game, and you know what they're going to bring. And the identity of Tottenham, even though it's not set just yet, it seems to be that they can defend first. That's the first thing. They're very solid. They defend, and then you get a bit complacent, and suddenly they can break on you, kind of thing. So it's really interesting to see the clash of styles and how Erik ten Hag will fare up. I like what Don said about the mind games. It got me confused now. I don't know what to think or what to expect. Tottenham are really. I expected them to be Arsenal the other day. I expect him to absorb it. But obviously you guys have some doubts there, which is kind of promising for us because you want a certain system because that's what the fans want. But then Conte is sticking with his preferred formation. So it's going to be very interesting what he puts out. But you had the good thing about it, like you mentioned with the four midfielders you mentioned there, Ashley, and the guys you got up front. I forgot about Gil, forgot about Mora. That just demonstrates the Spurs are ramping. They've got a really good squad and they are ready for this top four, maybe to stay there for a long time. So fair play to Spurs. You've really stepped it up.
So what I will say is that it's a weird one, really, because when we play three up front, we're more defensive minded than when we play two up front. Because that 5-man midfield gives us the ball more, so it gives us the impetus to go forward. But when you've got the three up top there, it's kind of, if it doesn't get to them, like we're giving away so many chances that they were up there and it doesn't really get to them. But when you've got the 5-man, a striker's only as good as the ball getting to him, ain't he? So when you've got the 5 in the midfield, the ball gets to them and Bentancur will go forward and the other two will sit back, just like old school two midfielders. One goes forward, one sits back. But we've got an extra one there. So we're so much better like that. And I can't see him bringing Mora in. He's giving him about, 10 minutes. I can't see him bringing him in. And I can't see him bringing in Brian Gill, who is not ready yet to play this sort of game at Old Trafford. So I can't see them two playing in that game, which gives us Perisic. But I doubt he's going to put him up there. He hasn't put him up there all season. So I don't see him going with that. Conte's a tight man. He's not going to go and risk anything. The proven will be put Basuma in there and try and win the game.
Yeah.
Go on, Dumpy. You go.
Yeah, just going back to on Monday, he says, why is it that Tottenham fans like the 3 in midfield, or the 5 in midfield? The reason being is that Bentancur and Højbjerg always gets outnumbered when we play against a team which usually play like 3 in midfield. Like you guys are going to play 3 in midfield, isn't it? Whichever formation you've McTominay.
Bruno doesn't play in midfield anymore. He's a striker.
Is Eriksen going to be fit? Is Eriksen not ready? I heard he trained today or yesterday. So is he going to be ready? But you're going to play 3 in midfield. So if we just go with Højbjerg and Bentancur, I just think that we're going to be outnumbered, and that's what tends to happen. So it ends up becoming like a game between the penalty boxes.
Yeah.
Mid-block versus mid-block.
Yeah.
Cancellation.
Again, with it as well, I heard, I think was it last week, it was talking and they were having a discussion about some players, because obviously Mora as well. Mora is a top player. I think he's a quality player, but apparently he doesn't trust him one bit. So guys, Mora, great player. I believe Mora is a good player. A lot of people out there probably think, but why do you think the manager just doesn't trust him?
So if you speak to I don't know what is it Ashley speak. Ashley, I don't know what his view on it, but it's basically Mora's very
I would say slightly mixed, but I would say the vast majority of Tottenham fans aren't having Moura, really. The vast majority, because the vast majority think that excellent dribbler, yeah, good with the ball at his feet, runs down blind alleys. All he does, he is the typical example of a head down footballer. He never ever looks up, never
Theo
makes the right
Wilcox.
decision.
Theo, yeah?
Yeah, never
Theo.
right. Yeah, never makes the right decision. It's almost like he's just been someone's winded him up and he just runs. Yeah, so he has no football IQ. So he is definitely a squad player, but every now and then he can come on, make an impact for a few minutes, but that's about it. Brian Gill, actually, is right. He's not ready because basically we're trying to get him to strengthen up. He's got all the techers, so he's techie, and he can dribble everything, but he just needs to eat some food. So I don't know if I think Conte's got him on some type of meal plan or whatever. But I just don't see the man's still 5 foot nothing and weighs about 7 stone nothing. So he can't he can't play. So of all the three the names that I called, probably I think that he might go for Session and as a left wing back and play Perisic. I know that he hasn't done it this season. If he was going to do that formation, but I'm still hoping that he's going to play Basuma.
Ash.
Yeah, I agree with that. Mora's hit and miss, isn't it? I mean, if ever a player's hit and miss, it's Lucas Moura. I mean, it'll always be a legend to us, always. So no matter what, the guy's a legend for the hat trick he scored. And even when my son, who's only 8, puts him down and say, no, never speak bad about Moura. But he's still there. The realistic side of it is that we wouldn't miss Moura if he left, would we? Like realistically,
No.
He doesn't really. He's not really massively impact off the bench either. He's not hugely. It's not really like you think, oh, wow, Moura's coming on. You just think, what might we get from this guy? It could be anything. So I know Conte, as I said, is an Italian that wants to know what he's getting when he puts a man on the pitch. And he just doesn't know what he's going to get from him. So, yeah, I agree with that. And I don't think he'll play tomorrow. So, yeah, maybe what Dom said. But I just can't see Conte doing that. I just can't see it.
There is one other thing as well that we haven't talked about today so far, and that is Kulusevski. There is a slight chance that he might be on the bench.
Yeah.
Because he was meant to have come back against Everton, and then he had a slight reaction to his injury.
And Kulusevski could start. I mean, if he's fit enough to be on the bench, the old thing is that if you're fit enough to be on the bench, you're fit enough to start. So, I mean, he's a young boy, innit? He's 21. So it's not like he's an old guy with old legs. This guy could come in and give us 60 minutes. So if Kulusevski starts, I think we'll be semi-happy. But I'd still prefer the 5 midfield and have Kulusevski as a backup for if Son needs to come off or Kane needs to come off, and then it just gives us a little injection. And we still have the flexibility to change the formation if we're winning or losing. So I think that Kulusevski should sit on the bench.
Okay. Guys, listen, 11 in the chat at the moment. Make sure you're liking, and we are so close to 2.5k subscriber. It is literally a whisper of 2 away from 2.5k subscribers. So make sure you are hitting that subscribe button, guys. Right, we are gonna go. Pardon? Yeah, we're gonna read some comments out in a minute. So let's go with the next one, and we are going to go on a bit about Man United. I need to get the correct one though for ourselves, and it is about Omundi. Need to probably sorry, Omundi, 1 second, it's the wrong one I'm giving you. It's this one, I believe. Yep, it's this one here. So what am I doing on squad fitness? It's not the squad fitness I need one about the team. No, it's not. I don't know. I thought I did one about the team. So sorry, guys. I was trying to get with Man United just to talk a little bit about Man United, obviously fitness and things like that. And for us, Martial is definitely a doubt for us. Eriksen did train, as what Dom says. Eriksen did train, so we're not sure what's going to happen with him in the game come tomorrow. But on Monday, what sort of team we're going to look at my team, but what sort of team you're looking at the moment?
I don't know. I need to bump heads with Mr. B because we always sort of bump heads about players sort of coming in. We've got, the thing is, like Spurs, we've got some good squad selection now. We've got left back issues. The only issue I've got is Dalot. He hasn't got any competition because Wan-Bissaka's out at the moment. We know what our best defensive lineup would be. It's either Shaw or Malacia, and then you got Varane,
Shaw's playing.
Martinez, and then the right back. Midfield, Mr. B. Well, this is a tough one.
Would you say that Shaw's definitely playing ahead of Malacia? I thought Malacia was meant to be the, but he was meant to be the second comment, the best left back. I thought he was meant to be your Patrice Evra.
If that's what you thought, then fine. If that's what you thought, then fine. Shaw's starting tomorrow. We don't need the second coming of anybody. Weetabix boy is going to be playing tomorrow.
Okay.
Talk to mum. Talk to mum.
Yeah, so we're at midfield, Mr. B. That's the issue, because we got like we used to play midfield block, but lately we've been playing Casemiro as a sort of single pivot, which has not really worked out, I don't believe. I think we should go back to single block with a double block, which was Eriksen and McTominay. They played really well together. We went on a 5-game winning streak with that sort of combination. And like you guys, like that security in midfield, that gives us some security because Bruno doesn't track back and he's not really part of the midfield anymore. So with Casemiro in, I like to see him partnering someone, preferably not Fred, and someone who sits there and causes a block where you have to invite you to play through us.
Omondi, can I ask a question? Why did you have to bring Fred into this? Leave Fred out of it.
Because,
yes, and that's what we should be doing. Leaving Fred out of everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Omondi, question. If Eriksen don't play, who you have been playing?
I think it's got to be Casemiro and McTominay.
Would you switch the roles that they play in? Would you have...
No, I just had them as a 2-man block. Just stay together. Just keep together.
What?
Don't break the block. Just stick there and let the players ahead of you do all the great stuff.
Bruno doesn't play in position.
Yeah, so if you've got...
What position does Bruno play in?
Wherever he likes.
Wherever he wants.
The thing is, I was talking to a friend of mine. He was saying Bruno likes to make runs in behind. When Martial plays, Martial comes deep, draws defenders, centre-backs out, and Bruno likes to attack the space that's been left vacated. But when Ronaldo's up there, Ronaldo doesn't do much running, so it looks like we've got two up front a lot of the time. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's got to be some sort of rotations there, and I think that's what the manager wants, but it's not actually clicking just yet. So we just have to wait and see. But Bruno should ideally be sitting in the free. When we haven't got the ball, he shouldn't be ahead of the play, in my opinion, because we're getting caught out a lot of the time. We don't want to get overrun or outnumbered in midfield, especially against a team like you.
And yeah, that's the thing with it, though, with Bruno not playing his position. But this was Ten Hag's part of Ten Hag press conference here on Monday.
So Ten Hag saying Anthony Martial will not be back on the pitch, but he's not in team training. With Christian Eriksen, we have to wait. He said he's just on the pitch. We have to see how he recovers from that, and we will make a decision tomorrow. So when he says on the pitch, he's talking about the training ground.
Yep. So we'll do this one here. We'll just go through this one, and we talk about Conte as well, and then we're going to go into danger. Who's dangerous? The danger man to watch.
So on how to keep the squad fit, this is a quote from the manager. He says, start the season, we try to plan for the overload on players, and you see around many clubs, Now many injuries coming up, you can't avoid it. Tough football injuries will come. You have to rotate, you need a squad. Keep everyone fresh to avoid big injuries as much as you can, and to keep them in the right shape and keep them in the right form as well.
And then the last one about the manager.
So when he's talking about Antonio Conte, he says he's a fabulous manager, winning titles in the Premier League, Italy, and you can't really see you can really see his signature in the match from his team. So he's got an identity, as we saw at Chelsea as well. He's gone with a 3-4-3 or 3-5-2, and that's a big compliment, I think, says the manager. So there's a lot of respect there for Conte from Ten Hag.
Excellent. So guys, we're going to quickly just run through some comments on Monday. Not a lot of the comments, yeah, please, just a few. Just okay, about 2 or 3 most.
Okay, so let's go. So Pipe71, how you doing, man? I love the afro. You got your afro puffs there. Says, Tottenham fans need to stop with this gassing of Skip. I don't see anything in this player to warrant the hype. But yes, 3-5-2 has to be the system for tomorrow and for the season for me. So he's obviously a Tottenham fan. HG Gamer saying, don't want to be disrespectful, but I fear anyone apart from Son and Kane. I don't fear anyone apart from Son and Kane, he's saying. Sorry, excuse me. Spurs don't have a creative player behind Kane and Son. And finally, Bill Baggio saying, Spurs are hard watch, but I believe they will win trophies under Conte. I didn't get that feeling under previous coaches. There you go.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you. And big up Brush. I can see Gavin in the building as well.
Yeah, Big G saying Bruno needs to be dropped deeper to pick the ball up and create more. I totally agree with you there. I totally agree. And Vincent saying we're going to destroy Tottenham tomorrow. Don't say that, Vincent. I can see Tottenham fans need to get the Tottenham fan needs to get himself a new duster coat. I think that's you, Ashley. That other one is worn out from the clean. No one does that stuff. They're empty cabinet. Sorry, Ashley. You had to endure that abuse, but
Tell me something, guys. Is Ronaldo playing tomorrow?
Oh,
no idea. I don't think he will. But if he's play, you guys got to be worried.
no.
Why? Because he's got a hat trick against us last game.
There you go. He scores whenever he wants against you boys, doesn't he? Good record against you.
I'm not having
We
him
beat
play.
Madrid though, but yeah, that game, yeah, he did score a hat trick against us.
Yeah, he did.
But it's either that or Rashford. Is Rashford fit?
Rashford's fit, but
I want Rashford to play. I don't want Ronaldo playing.
Okay.
It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be an interesting one, though. So, guys, Danger Man, let's go to you guys first. Man United, what you believe would be Danger Man. So, Ash and Dom.
Yeah, for me, for me, Eriksen, if he plays. Besides, he's being a top quality player. He's playing against his old team. You know what happens there, innit? They always score. And he's just class, isn't he, Eriksen? So, for me, see the 5-man midfield that we want to play. If we would have brought Eriksen back, he would have been perfect in that team there. So I wish we would have brought him back, even though, I'll be honest, the last 6 months he was at Tottenham, he was poor, but that was because he just didn't go on a manager in the end. But yeah, Eriksen for me, he's class.
Dom?
United don't. You're going to think I'm taking a piss now if I say that I don't really fit. So I need to come up with someone.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
You just be honest. Just be honest.
Oh, no, I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I don't know what it is, yeah, but I do think, Ronaldo, having scored a hat trick against someone, I think once you score a hat trick against someone, you're going to feel confident.
He's not playing.
But he might come on and stuff, but he's the person that I would feel a bit. Rashford, I don't know. Rashford does seem to score the odd goal against us, though. I mean, even when we played better than you, especially at Old Trafford, there's been so many times when we played better than you and you've nicked a goal, and it's usually Rashford that you. A couple of times.
He scored the winner at Wembley as well. Remember when De Gea?
Yeah. So I would say Rashford. Yeah, definitely not Eriksen. I'm not really into this Eriksen loving, as everybody else is. I know United fans and everybody loves him. I think he's all right, but I think not that he's a luxury player, but you have to have. I don't see how you can have Eriksen and Bruno playing. If you got Bruno and Eriksen playing in the same midfield, I will take it. I'd like to play against that midfield.
Okay.
But Eriksen does more running. Eriksen does a lot of running, there was times at Tottenham when Eriksen was the run the most kilometers in games. Eriksen does a lot of running.
That was pre-heart attack, and he was a couple of years younger.
Yeah, but he was younger, but he's not. I mean, he's still a very fit guy, man. He keeps himself slim, got no body fat. He's fit guy. He's a fit guy, Eriksen. He does a lot of running. I think he's underestimated the running he does. But that's just my opinion. I like him, but yeah. I can see him, but
But Ashley, did you not see them against Brentford and Brighton? That's exactly what they did. They exploited Eric.
Yeah,
not the thing, but he was dropping deep and everything, but he just didn't have the legs. We've got runners in midfield, especially if we've got 3 of them. If we've got our 3 in midfield, if we've got 3 of them, we're gonna win. If we play 5-man midfield, we will win this game 100%. I have no doubt about it. Speaking with chest.
Yeah, 100%. I have no doubt. It's just that I'm waiting for that hour before kickoff. As soon as he picks that team and it's 3-man in midfield, it's over. United, they might as well just. Not do show tomorrow night.
I just think Conte's just gonna. I don't know. I'm thinking he's only gonna play 2.
You saying there, Dom P, about United, and you don't really rate a lot of players, but there's one player that.
No, I don't rate. I said I don't. Yeah,
fair. You don't fair. So. Yeah. There, for me, I look at Anthony, and Anthony could be the player that actually destroy you.
Oh, I forgot about him.
You forgot about him. Don't worry, he'll be up there tomorrow. He's a player
And Anthony's he's a 1-goal man, isn't he? I think he's in my fantasy league football team. Yeah, he is. So I must rate him. He's in my fantasy team.
Yeah, he's in the fantasy team. Yeah.
Yeah. But he's a 1-goal man, isn't he?
We don't know that yet. He's only played what? 5 games for us so far.
3 goals.
Got to give him time.
3 goals in his 3 home games.
In 3 home games.
Yeah, he's getting kicked off the pitch tomorrow, man. Don't worry.
He's a So he plays on your who's your right against left? Who's your left winger? Because whoever we play on the right is going to be shit.
Sancho Rashford.
Whoever plays on your left should get joy against us. Because our right wing back, whoever we play, is going to be terrible.
Okay, that's fine. So Sancho should have a fun day then.
Sancho's a good player, to be fair, but I feel that I don't know about you, Dom. We should have our own show, but Doherty is underrated, and when Doherty gets a run in the team, he's all right, man. He's all right. But Emerson Royal was playing. I'd give it up now. I wouldn't even come on this show. But Doherty's got to play. So Doherty's a big, strong, hard man. I'm thinking to myself, he has a good game. I know he has some bad ones, but if he has a good game, he's a decent player, Doherty, to be fair.
All I will say is free Jed Spence. Free Jed Spence.
When's he ever going to get a run, man?
He's in lockup.
Isn't it?
I'm going to go to the United guys now. And these guys seems like, well, don't really fear much with United. So who is it then, player to watch for Tottenham tomorrow, Monday?
I like Perisic. I've always liked him. I think he's a brilliant player. I don't know how people still fall for the chops. He shapes the cross, bops, and then crops again. Oh, crops, chop. I love that about him. I think it's really effective in that high up in the pitch. And not just that, he's a big unit as well. So he can defend, no matter what people say. Great player for your fantasy team if he plays every game. But we were going to buy him a few seasons ago, and I would have loved that. Really impressive player for me at all levels, at high levels. So Tottenham got a good attribute there, a good player coming into their side there. I think he's very effective, and I think if you get him in the right areas, because Tottenham, obviously, as you say, their width comes from their fullbacks. And Session's still on developing, I feel, even though he's shown a lot of promise this season. But he is someone I would worry about at high end of the pitch, and giving someone chop suey and sending them, to the shops, that sort of thing. As for Man United, I think we do need creativity. We're up against a team that's going to maybe be a low block in certain periods of the game. So Rashford's out of the question because he just doesn't seem to. He likes to play with a high line, getting behind. If he has to run into traffic like your Lucas Moura, similar player sort of thing, I don't think he's had that intelligence. Even though he's improved at that lately with his simple playing football like Sancho again. So I think players like Sancho and Anthony will be key for us because they play triangles, that kind of thing, to draw people out, square people up, and try and get that three-man defence out of their block. Because once we can do that and get them behind, I think it would be effective. It's really about someone being up front to draw them out and get spaces in behind. And that's why we need some good runners. We didn't display that against Newcastle. So I just think the system has to improve, not just individual players from Man United.
So question for you on Monday. Who would you prefer to start up front, Rashford or Ronaldo?
Well, personally, I would like
against
Ronaldo.
Us.
Yes. Yeah. Because I just think he's someone, even though he's not doing enough work, I think he would attract people. You're not gonna leave him no space. So he, without even doing the work, sometimes he can create space. And I think someone better qualified to talk about this than me is one of my favourite strikers that I've ever played with, and that's Ashley Linders. I think you're a fantastic striker, still to this day, baller, should have made pro. But what do you think?
I would prefer, if I was a Man United fan, I would prefer Ronaldo in my team, of course. Ronaldo, like you hit the nail on the head when you said it will be occupied, because they know you could give Rashford 4 or 5 chances potentially. You're not going to deliberately do that, but you could. But Ronaldo, you can't really give man a chance. You give him a chance, he'll probably score. Yeah, head, left foot, right foot. It doesn't really matter to him. He'll do it. And also, but then the other side of it is, as a Spurs fan, if Rashford plays, I worry about the pace. Because Rashford is one of them guys that, yes, he's a bit of a headless chicken, but that pace, it gives you an outlet. It just lift it over the top, Rashford's in, lift it over the top, Rashford in, where you're not really going to do that with Ronaldo. He's still quick, but he ain't that quick. But
do you not think, Ashley, that Conte will play a low block against United?
Trafford? So potentially, but unless we get drawn out. I mean, what Rashford is always on that shoulder, isn't it? So we get drawn out a little bit. And he's always got that opportunity to run in behind, whereas you don't have that with Ronaldo. So you have a little bit less to think about because you think, like, let's keep this guy in front of us here, Ronaldo, and let's just deal with him, get around him. He's got a few tricks and he ain't going to outpace anyone anymore. Well, he is still quick. I'm not knocking him, but Rashford's a different animal. It's like he's that one of them elusive guys that just breaks away. But the answer to my question is, if I was a Man United fan, I'd want Ronaldo to play every game. I'd want him as my striker.
Mr. B, you were shaking your head.
Mr. B.
I don't want Ronaldo playing. I don't want Ronaldo playing. I want Rashford playing.
That's because you got a little thingy for him. That's why.
Yeah, listen, it's not a thingy for nothing. I don't think Ronaldo. He was and still is a great player, but his legs are gone, man. He can't play the system that the manager wants us to play. So mine normally play Ronaldo, but I actually see a pattern of playing. Ronaldo can't play it. He can't do the pressing. He can't do the whatever you lot keep talking about, this mid-block business, blah blah blah. I'm not having Ronaldo playing tomorrow.
Basically, if our defenders are almost on a penalty box, on our penalty box,
that's fine. I understand all of that. I get it, but we don't have the players. If Eriksen's not playing, who's going to play Ronaldo the ball? Bruno stays in Ronaldo's shadow the whole bloody game. Their runs are exactly the same. So I would rather Ronaldo doesn't play.
Wow. Okay, guys, we are going to move on now, and we are going to do predict your team now. So get in the comments, 17 in the chat. If you're new to the channel, give us a subscribe. If you're not new, just give us a like. And also, we will now be doing the team prediction. So let's go to Dom P. Dom P, your starting 11 for Spurs tomorrow, please.
Can I just clarify? It's not my starting 11. It's the starting 11 that I think Conte will pick tomorrow.
Okay, go on. Yeah, we
is that the question?
Yeah.
What I think. So, Lloris in goal. Right wing back Doherty. Right centre back of the three, Romario. Centre back is Dyer. The third centre back is either Longley or Davis. Ashley, who played against Everton? Was it Davis?
Davis will play. I think Davis will play. But Davis.
We'll give Davis. Then Ashley says Davis. And then left wing back between Session and Perisic. I think he's going to go for Perisic. And then midfield, you're going to have Holberg, Basuma. No, Bentancur, and I think he is going to play Basuma. I think it was all mind games. I think he's going to play three in the middle, and then we're going to have Kane and Son up top.
Okay,
Ashley.
I think Sessignon will play instead of Perisic. Okay. I just think that he, like, again, with that solid mindset that Conte has, is that I think Sessignon's a bit more solid than Perisic, as in he will sit a little bit deeper because he's not as attacking minded, even though it used to be when he was at Fulham. And I think he's just that little bit more solid. He just gives that a little bit more solid. Like Perisic is floating, and like he's just more like that Figo kind of thing where he glides around. But Sessignon was just a solid guy. He sits in there. Doherty sits in there. Them two sit in there, hopefully free. And then it's kind of solid there. It's a solid midfield. Whereas I think Perisic doesn't really give you that. He drifts out of position and stuff. I'm not knocking him. He's a quality player. But I think Sessignon will play. And I'm hoping, like you, that he plays the 5 midfield. But I don't think he will. I think he might play Perisic up top of the 3. Maybe the third on the left. I hope he doesn't. I just can't see him. I just hope he doesn't.
If he doesn't play the 3, of all the players ahead of Moura and Gill, I would prefer him to play Perisic.
Yeah, so would I. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So now,
and then once they're Son and Kane up front, obviously, and how you didn't say that Kane was your danger man, it's going to come back to bite you. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I was going to say Kane is probably a danger man, but that's after he's test out for the British thingy diving team. So he don't dive, man. Contact, he feels contact, and he saves himself. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the contact against Pickford, but I ain't seen it yet.
Pickford really chopped him up, man.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for it, guys. Normally,
if the defenders are still falling for it, then.
So quick one, I'm on there, Mr. B. Have a look at this. This is my lineup, as always, the solo 11. So guys, get your team in the chat as well.
No Eriksen in your team, Solo.
Huh?
No Eriksen in your team.
It's because of fitness. It's fitness out. That's why.
Yeah, sorry. I'll start. I think that's enough. That's a good team you put out there, Solo. Obviously, there's a question mark about Ronaldo. I did say I would like to see him start, but I like that as well. That can work. You just got to draw people out of position, get Spurs out of their shape. I think with that team, you can do that. When you got two players like Scott McTominay and Casemiro in the block, that will give us a little bit of protection. And I think the defense speaks for itself.
Protection from what? We're going to play defensive midfielders.
So
we're not going to hurt
you. This is my whole point. We're at home and we are playing two defensive-minded, and this is what I was saying to you on Monday about playing Casemiro in the Eriksen role, because he can make the forward pass. He's got vision. It might not be as cute, it might not be as classy, but at least he can see the forward pass. And just pray that McTominay can do a job ratting around behind him, because I'm not being funny. Why are we going to go defensive against Tottenham at home when they defend the whole game? All we have to do is watch the counter-attack. They're not going to try and dominate. They're not going to try and dominate us. They're going to give us the ball. Tottenham are going to give us the whole ball until we hit maybe a third of the pitch. And then we have to start thinking about it. I expect us to have more possession than Tottenham, and I expect us to create more chances than Tottenham. Whether or not we win the game will depend on whether or not we score first. If we score first, the game's done. If they score first, we're fucked. Because they're just going to sit in there and sit in there and sit in there.
Can I just ask you to put Pipes' comment back up again? It came up and then it flashed his last comment.
Okay, is that
Pipes is saying Perisic is supposed to be a big game player. I think he will play. Conte will play three in the middle. There's no way he can drop Basuma after the cameo at the weekend.
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. So now we're happy with the team lineup. Now, what we are going to do is we're going to go through some of the comments, but one or two of the comments again on Monday. But before we do so, guys, get your score prediction in as well, please. Yeah, because that's coming up next.
So, Mr. B, would you have picked the exact same team as Solo, but what would you have done different? Just you'd have just put
oh, sorry, Mr.
Casemiro more further forward, Mr. B.
Yeah, Casemiro has to be the one who plays in the Eriksen role. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm all for dropping Bruno at the moment, but Scott doesn't. If the Casemiro and Scott thing works, then maybe he'll get Eriksen in. But I think Bruno he's been given captains. Well, it's not even captain. I just think he's been given captain's license at the moment, where he's not getting dropped for. He's not making mistakes. I'm not saying he's making mistakes, but just stuff that he tries to do in the game, and you think, well, what the hell are you doing? I mean, Omundi, you were talking about him breaking from midfield. That is definitely an instruction from Ten Hag, because if you watch every single game, the ball will drop back and then it's played to Martinez, bang, that ball's over the top. I understand what you're saying about Martial dropping in, which then means Bruno's taking up his position late, but I don't see McTominay being able to make that pass. That's what I'm saying. If McTominay is playing deep, you've seen the variation of passing that Casemiro's had. I think he surprised a few people with his range of passing. I know he's surprised Paul Scholes with it. So I'm thinking if you play him further forward, he's got the opportunity to do that. So then Tottenham are so defensive. Yeah. So defensive.
That's the thing. But we're going to go now and we're going to go to some of the comments, guys. So start getting your score prediction. Amanda, would you mind just taking some of these away?
We'll say hi to Amway. He's saying if Erik Ten Hag wants to reach let him start Ronaldo and Fred. Emma's saying to Eddie Football Waffle, I think Ten Hag has to tell him to be more aggressive, though, talking about Sancho, because you can see if Sancho follows instructions, but the more he plays, the more he grow into it. And I believe in him. And Emma's also saying McTominay and Casemiro has some good passes in them, as Mr. B was saying, with Casemiro especially. Paul Tierney saying our wingers are massive tomorrow. Anthony and Sancho run at their weak points, which is where I'm not sure. Felix Flex is saying, I'm only scared of Son. Big G saying, if you play two CDMs, then the key will be the fullbacks getting forward a lot more. Case later, how you doing? Spurs counter will be fun to see against our defence. Love watching Song and Kulusevski. And finally, Del Griffiths, how you doing, man? He says, Bruno needs a game on the bench. His stats have been awful for weeks.
Okay, so who
would you play in his place if you was to bench him? Is Van der Beek still available? What's happened to him? Van der Beek.
He's injured at the moment, Van der Beek. He will be back. The manager made a quote the other day saying that we might see the best of Van der Beek in time to come. There was an argument on the channel about Sancho playing in Bruno's position and also Eriksen as well. So those two are the sort of most viable options that we have there. But even though Sancho doesn't really play there, he's got the ability. Maybe they feel to do that.
What would you?
I just think,
prefer?
I think he's got. It is Omundi with Sancho playing in there. I just think he'll have the discipline to stay central, and the passes, the extravagant pass. If you look at Sancho's, he's cute with his passes. You know what I mean? I just think in that kind of area there, if he, he's either going to win the penalty because a man's going to touch him, and I just feel that he will play centrally, and to me, that number 10 should be playing centrally. He shouldn't be out on the wing trying to cross the ball. That's not his job. You know what I mean? That's all.
Yeah, they're different. For me, they're different kind of players. I really do like the idea that Sancho can play in that area because he's a team player. He links up really well. Whereas Bruno, we compare him to other players in his ilk with was it De Bruyne? They're different. Bruno tries these Hollywood passes. He runs a lot. It makes it look like the crowd get onside from his runs and his arm movement, everything else. But when you really break it down, he should play a lot more simpler in his game and be a team player and help us build as a team. I just think it's just he gets bypassed a lot. He should be coming deeper and being part of the process of getting up the pitch like that. And I think Sancho would definitely do that. That's the only reason I feel Sancho could play in that area. But otherwise, I think Sancho should be playing full stop because he's a quality player.
What do you think, Solo?
You know what? For me, Bruno Fernandes, he's on a lot of scrutiny. I think game-wise, where he was going around and play acting probably last season, a few other seasons, he's not doing it so much. I think he has taken a bit of responsibility, but I think giving him the captain's armband is taking a little bit away from his game also. So it's almost like where he would be in position to try and bury things. He's making the easiest option looks harder than what it actually should be. So I'm probably with Mr. B here. Probably just rest him, put him on the bench, or bring him on as a sub, give someone else the opportunity to come in his place instead.
Yeah. So Paul Tyranny, one of your comments, he was right. So he was asking about our weak positions. I agree with him when he said that our weak positions are left and right wing back.
Cool. And then I just want to say before we go to the score prediction here, there's someone in the comment I want to say hello to MUFC as well. Big up as well. So let's go score prediction. Dom P, guys, get your score prediction in. Get your score prediction. So far, you've got, who have we got in here? I've seen a couple of Pipe 71 saying 2-2. Who else is it? I know there's a few more score. Go on, Dom P, what's the score prediction for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a draw. Even though I really want to win, but I think it's going to be a draw.
Okay. Omundi, 1-0, see the game out, or we change it?
I'd love to say that, but I do agree with Don P. I think it's going to cancel each other out. It'll be a good result for both teams, considering we've got a tough week ahead.
Yeah, Mr. B?
Yeah, I don't need it to be a draw. But I can see I can't see Tottenham conceding 2, and I can't see us 1-1. I go 1-1. I can't see Tottenham conceding 2, and I definitely can't. I see us, but then I can see Tottenham scoring 2 in the game if we make 2 errors. 1-1. I go 1-1. I go 1-1.
Smash and grab 2-1 United. Smash and grab 2-1 United.
Smash and grab at home.
Yeah, 2-1
against a defensive team.
Yeah. 2-1. Harry Kane will get a penalty, don't worry.
One thing I will say, you know that you said that you're a defensive team. If you look at the goal difference, it's more or less the same as Arsenal. Arsenal's meant to be playing this wonderful Brazil, Barcelona-like football. They've only scored 1 more goal than us, 1 or 2 more goals than us, yeah?
Okay,
and
so
they conceded the same. Well, what I'm trying to say is the way Conte plays football is he gives away possessions, yeah? So he almost he focuses on the penalty boxes. So what happens is we have a lot of players back in our penalty box. But you see, when we're attacking, we flood the opposition's penalty box. So we put a lot of man forward. So when whoever's on the left and the right, they're going to have at least 3 or 4 men in the box. So you guys are going to have about 3 or 4 men to mark in the penalty box.
But you know what I love about that,
that's what I'm trying to. So that's the kind of balance.
You see, like where I'm on there, Mr. B saying it though, the way you're describing it, that's good then for us because again, like Mr. B says, if Rashford play, it means Rashford probably be sitting up top. Anthony will be sitting a bit further forward as well. So if you guys are flooding, you probably have an extra man for Man United to get start.
No, because we do it with 5. We do it 4 or 5, and then we've got 4 or 5 back. So we always constant, and we're the fittest team. Yeah. We're super fit as well. Like Conte, that's why the guy that passed away, we're super fit. So there'll be. I'll be very surprised if Rashford has loads of field to run into. It's not the way that Conte plays football. We always have man back. So more likely you're going to score from a corner or I don't know, a set piece or corner. You don't score from corners.
We don't score from corners at all. So Bill did say 2-1 United. Aishi Gamer 2-1 United. Paul 2-1 United. Yeah, it's not a lot. Their scores are not big. UK Strain, Eddie 1-1, UK Strain. Arsenal fan Anthony Herbert 1-1. Emma 3-0 United. Ooh, that's promising. I know 2-1 United.
Can I ask you something? You see
3-1 Spurs.
You reckon
yes, I hope that's the case.
You reckon it's a good result if we draw tomorrow? Is that in the scheme of things as in that it's Tottenham we're playing? Or do you think that it's because I'll be honest, I hope that we would have tried to got 7 points out of the 3 games, Tottenham, Chelsea, and
Yeah, I agree. Look, Tottenham are no mugs. They're a very difficult team to beat. Teams are hard to beat, and if we can get, like you said, if we go goal out, that'd be great. But I just think the way we've been playing, Mr. B, especially like the other day, we've shown resilience. I know it was mentioned earlier in the show we lost our first 2 games. We hadn't got our things right back then. But we had 7 days. We got our defense sorted out, and we've been very difficult to beat for 5 games. Then we came up against Man City, who we just part that one away. We're not really. That was just difficult. They're level above us. But now that our defense is okay, like we proved the other day. Just playing out is still an issue, a bit of an issue. But it's like up front, we're not really getting patterns of the play. And like you said, when Ronaldo played, I was endorsing him earlier, but when he played at the weekend, he wasn't putting the runs in. He wasn't bending his run. He wasn't putting pressure on. And the counter press, when we're trying to counter press teams, it's got to be, you've got to go. You've got to go. And I just think he hasn't got the legs in him to do that. It's going to be a difficult game, though. I've been trying to weigh up. I've been thinking about it all day about how do we beat Spurs? How do you go about it? And even the way Arsenal done it against them, I don't think we're capable of doing that by playing free-flowing football and getting overloads and that kind of thing. I don't think that we could do that just yet. So that's why I'm saying a draw would be a fair result based on where we're at the moment, because I don't think we're ready to click and fire in all departments.
Yeah. So, guys, what I need to say is, Baba, welcome. I've not seen you for a very long time. Come back to the channel. 3-2 to United. We've got Red Devil Studio in the chat as well. Big up. He's saying big up to the panel. Pat Lawless is in the building as well. Big up Pat Lawless. And guys, that's all from us. So let's kickstart now and let's get some of these comments off here. Don P, where can the people find you if you're on social?
Just tune into Paxton Road TV. I'm on there every now and then, and also where am I on social? Don P, basically. Don P8, I think I am on Insta.
Oh wow, need to find you. Guys, find Don P and give him hell over there. So guys, from us, we will be back tonight at 10 o'clock. So make sure you set your notification bell. It is the eye test with Omundi and Bath Time on tonight. Tomorrow as well, guys, do remember that we have a watch along with Mr. B. You there tomorrow or not? Tomorrow? No, you're not there tomorrow, but Talk will be doing a watch along as far as I'm aware of. And then the reaction show will be later on. So guys, please make sure you like, share and subscribe. And we are on the road to 2.5k subscribers. So guys, thank you all for watching, liking and subscribing. Good night.